I wanted to make this video mainly just to discuss about how being a broker is not as easy as people think it is sometimes, and sometimes it can be. I mean, brokers face a lot of challenges in the industry. I myself, even today, face a lot of challenges. I've been doing this for over a decade and a half, or 15, 12, 14, 15, 16 years, but I still face issues. I still have that complicated situation or the complicated client. I do make deals. There are times I also lose deals. Lose a deal even before meeting a client sometimes. It happens. I had a client once approach me from part of the GCC, and he was very particular that he wishes to meet me first, which is something I obviously do anyways. And I choose to do that because I want to understand what this guy wants before taking him onto the field. So I usually do this as a practice. I go meet my investor first, whoever has reached out to me. I understand their basic requirement, propose 3-4 projects, and then see what they like. For sure, it's very important to meet people. That's how I build my rapport with them. That's how they get to know me before they wish to work with me. I need to know them too, right? This is not something that it's come, I'll take you there, I'll drive you around. I'm not your chauffeur. I need to know exactly what they want. I build on that, and then I show them, and then I build a relation with them in the longer run. So to come back to this one guy, he messages me and he's like, hey, I need to sit down with you. You seem to know what you're talking about, and I want to buy a property with you, but I am at my very initial stages and I want to meet you. So what are your charges? And I was like, what? What are my charges? What for? So he's like, yeah, tell me your fees. I need to understand, what do you charge for your professional fees or whatever you call it. And I was like, I don't charge anything. So he was asking me what are the charges for my consultancy fees. And I was like, I really want to put a figure down, but I'm not going to because you're meeting me for the first time. It's a given. I need to give you the time. I need to understand your requirement rather than just be in it for the quick money that I'll make. Sitting with you for an hour, understanding your requirement, put 4 options on the table, let's go find something and close your deal. I like to understand. I like to sit with the person, build a relation with them, really understand what they're looking for. Many a times some people tell me that, oh, we want to buy this particular investment, and I say, no, I don't like it. Why I don't like it? I have my reasons. I put them out on the table. But anyways, coming back to this guy, he was insisting that I need to know what is your consultancy fees before we go to the developer or before we even meet. I did emphasize to him that I make my money when you buy something. That is where we make our money. That is our transaction fees. Either you buy a secondary property or a direct from the developer property. But he kept insisting and insisting. So in the end, I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm just going to ask him straight up. Like, what is the reason you wish to pay me money when I'm telling you I make money when you transact something? If you don't transact, it's totally all right. And he got a little afraid at that time. And he was like, you shoot a lot of content. You make videos about clients and so on and so forth. And I saw some videos where you had this one funny client in this building where maybe he gave you some offer and maybe you didn't like it and you shot a video about it, which was not the case. I basically shoot humor in content to mix it up. I dislike the whole serious, boring content that you see every single person doing. Walk into an apartment, lift up my phone and da-da-da-da-da, and that's the end of it. That's not content. The developers are doing that already, right? People who go on the portals, go live, are already doing that. Your walkthroughs on the portals are there for that reason. Social media portals are not for that reason. Social media is to build a relationship, build a reputation, let the client know you before they approach you. I told him, I said, listen, I try to mix it up. I don't just make content for the sake of making content, just randomly. I want the people to know who deal with me that this is my personality. This is what I put out. I am a easygoing, fun guy with a little bit of humor. And I like my clients to sit across the table with me, even if they have to in their PJs. It's cool, no problem. I will come and visit you for some appointments, probably in my PJs too. I've done that before. Clients who know me, obviously, not the first time. So when I tried to explain that to him, he kind of understood, but I don't think he was very comfy as well. I think he thought that if he paid me for my time, I wouldn't put it out as content. Because he has seen me put up content about client experiences or types of clients or types of agents or whatever it is. And it's not just that I make funny videos only about clients. I do that about brokers. I make jokes on myself. I make jokes on developers sometimes. I make jokes on certain type of properties. I like to mix it up. Of course, these are all pre-written skits. Of course, experiences, but blown up to a magnitude that would make it look funny. So maybe he thought that if he'd pay me for my time, I wouldn't make a skit about it and put it up on my socials. And that is why I just decided that it's better to not meet someone like that, because maybe in the long run we might not even get along. Because what kind of objection is? I'm not going to use a live situation and just put it on social media to take that direct discussion that we had, put on social media, expect it to be funny or like a skit or something. So I genuinely thought that this client was probably pulling my leg or a waste of time. So I didn't really bother going for the meeting. I just politely pushed it away. 2 weeks later, for some reason, I decided to do some research. I got online, I checked onto LinkedIn and so on and so forth. It's always important to do research about your clients. And I did that. And then I found out that this guy was somewhat big. And I realized that I lost a potential client right there, and a strong one at that. So this is how sometimes I also lose clients. It happens. It's a part of our job. It's a part of our day-to-day. Now let me tell you how I also gained a client. I had this one guy DMing me on my Instagram regularly, every now and then. He always supports my content, he likes my videos, he shares them, and so on and so forth. He had been in touch with another broker who's also on social quite actively, and he was in talks with him regarding that, hey, I'm looking to buy a property, this is what I'm looking to spend, what do you advise, or what do you recommend? So the broker puts out 1, 2, 3 options, and he says, okay, understood. What do you advise now that will be the expected capital appreciation based on his research? So he has this conversation with this broker, and I saw this on a WhatsApp message that was shown to me at a later stage, but I'll talk about the story now that happened. So he asks him that, hey, what is the expected capital appreciation based on your experience and your research on the area, and what do you expect the rental income to be? So this guy clearly puts out that, hey, the capital appreciation is going to be over 40%. God damn, 40%. Okay, fantastic. And what about the rental returns? Anywhere over 9 to 12%. And I was like, wow, that's fantastic. Take my money. He does all that, and that's when the client starts to counter question that, don't you think this is a little too optimistic? I mean, India in commercial real estate assets also doesn't generate that kind of return, whereas India is known for commercial real estate returns. They make some good returns and strong capital appreciation. India is known for that. Give any property 5 to 7 years, boom, you're above a good threshold. So this guy, the client put this out in front of the broker, and this is all text that I'm reading when the client is sitting with me and showing it to me. And the broker responds back by saying, if you think India is a better investment, why the hell are you talking to me? Or what do you want from here then? Why are you wasting your time and my time? And that really ticked the client off. That, hey, I have the rights to ask you, put your services out there. As a broker, not every discussion is a transaction. And after this is when he approached me and we had a discussion about it. And that's how I gained a client, because I understood his requirement. I didn't give him false hopes. I put out the actual figures in front of him on the table. He's a young gentleman, we got along very well, similar mindset, similar wavelength, purchased a property right away, found something much better. What I did was I was trying to understand exactly what he was looking for. I was patient with him. I heard him out. And of course, all of this was really entertaining, looking at the figures that they had shown. So just being patient with the guy, with the buyer, spending my time with him, understanding his requirement and putting out the right options for him, this is how I gained a client. And if that guy would have been just as patient, he would have definitely been that broker's client. Because this guy was ready to transact. He wanted to buy something, no matter what anyone said. But don't give him nonsense. Give him give him the right figures. Don't overinflate it. Give him realistic. I'll always keep it as realistic as possible. I know that whatever he makes on top, he's going to be more happy about it. So let me give him the bottom line. And I tell clients, I say, listen, whatever I'm giving you, don't discount 20% from there, because I know people do that. Everyone will discount 30 to 40% of what you say, especially when you're making a sales call. So I put it out. I'm like, listen, this is rock bottom. Do not discount anything from there, because it cannot go lower than this based on my research and experience. Whatever you get on top, invite me for a dinner. That's it. So this is what I wanted to say about how difficult our job is. And sometimes if you can be understanding and maybe just go ahead with it, you could gain a client or you could also lose a client. Just need to be patient, need to be understanding, and try and do the best that you can for the guys. So if you found some value out of this video, make sure to drop a like as well as subscribe. Bye for now.